This is Network 18. And you are watching CNBC TV 18.
Hello and welcome to Going Green. We now live in a planet that's warmer than ever before. For the first time in the history of our planet, human beings are directly responsible for changing climate patterns. This is just a symptom of our damaged ecological system. These are facts I'm sure you know. Perhaps you even know the reasons behind them. But what are you, me, and the companies that we work for doing anything about it? In the next half hour, I'll tell you stories of two large mainstream companies that have decided to make a difference to the environment.
This ATM of Indusind Bank on Leamington Road in South Mumbai looks like any other. Look closer and you realize its difference. It's powered by solar energy. Last year, when Paul Abraham led the green initiative of Indusind Bank, he faced a dilemma. The bank had decided to cut down on consumption of power, fuel and paper. That included converting its ATMs to be run by solar energy. And that came at an additional cost of 1.5 lakh rupees per ATM.
What we essentially tried and succeeded largely was to retrofit existing ATMs into a solar-powered environment. Now that took us a while of piloting and testing and trying, but we have succeeded. The effect essentially is that you have lower power consumption and savings on power in well-fed areas like Mumbai of about 25,000 rupees a year. But in areas like Thane and other parts of the country where power supply is erratic and where we are dependent on generators, the savings can be as much as 50,000 rupees a year.
Given the life of solar panels of 20 years, the payback within 4 years justified the costs. The solar ATMs have resulted in energy savings of over 2,000 kilowatt-hour per year and carbon savings of over 2,000 kgs per year. Now the bank wants to convert 1/5 of all its ATMs to go solar.
Many of the initiatives that we have taken, the gestation periods are long. For instance, we will take the costs up front, the benefits will come after 4 years or 5 years. So that is a commitment, but the basic belief has to be that good ecology is good long-term economics.
This whole thing is about economics. There is, there is a softer side to it, certainly, but I think at the end of the day, this is about hard numbers. This is a fact that any of these strategies that you adopt are economically viable strategies.
The bank has converted its large fleet of cars into CNG, replaced travel with video conferencing, and has invested in technology such as green data centers that consume lesser energy.
Then we have things like thin computing, where diskless workstations in large shop floors where a lot of desktops and workstations are deployed together on one shop floor. It is economically viable. We moved to bagasse-based paper. The entire corporate office, all our paper is now recycled bagasse. So people are aware that, one, that they should use less and that when they use, preferably use recycled stuff.
In 1 year, in just one office in Mumbai, Indusind Bank saved nearly 7.5 lakh rupees in energy savings. The Center for Environmental Research and Education, or the CERE, that has been working with Indusind Bank believes that engaging employees in this green journey is a must.
Thirdly, and probably the most important point, is you have to engage your employees and top management. Ensure that there is maximum participation within the company.
So, the bank has recognized what it calls green champions within the company who voluntarily run these ideas.
I feel that it's an opportunity given to us so that we can also become a socially responsible citizen.
Apart from being committed and driving a lot of these initiatives, are also part of the official infrastructure now through which we both download and receive back feedback.
And CEO Ramesh Sopti believes that any green initiative needs to be sustainable.
I was reading a survey that says that Indian companies want tax incentives to invest in energy efficient technologies, to invest in low carbon equipment, Do you think this kind of carrot and stick policy works to encourage companies to go green?
You know, these sort of SOPs have been there for a long, long time. For instance, on the wind power and wind turbines, you had taxation SOPs. What happened to wind power in the country? It's hardly developed. So I don't think these SOPs make a matter. There are inbuilt incentives there, both on the cost side and on the revenue side. On the cost side, you have savings. On the revenue side, you have carbon emission rights and all those sort of things which can be traded. So I think that generically there are incentives available to it. So all this call about SOPs, I think is a very short-term phenomena.
Isn't there a need for a credible reward system that companies can understand and use and be motivated to go green?
You see, it all translates into rewards being what? SOPs from the government, right? So I was saying that I don't believe in those sort of SOPs. You got to start believing in the basic business models around sustainability and the whole thing about managing the environment. And incentives are available, as I said, both on the revenue side and the cost side. There are already incentives available. You've got to find them.
What is your own experience of carbon emission rights? Have you had your own experience of fixing the revenue side of it as well?
Yeah. You know, surprisingly, as a legacy of a merger which happened about 5 years ago, we have 156 wind turbines. We earn about 5 or 6 crores of carbon emission rights every year. So we are already training. So we know how to do this thing. Most people perhaps do not know, and therefore I think there has to be intervention from bodies like banks, etc., to help people trade carbon emission rights. There's a solid cost-saving model behind it, which provides sustainability to this whole platform. That's why we are saying that you must have that belief.
That